All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA show. So, what I'm going to talk about today is what I come across a lot more than you would think. And if you know anything about me, I try to help men and women with the anti aging. And one of the things we talk about a lot is fitness and getting in better shape, obviously, looking and feeling better, uh, and just getting healthier in general. And one of the things I realize with a lot of people, and this goes for every age, is a lot of people don't like to sweat. I live in Florida, and a lot of people, they don't like the humidity, but they love the climate in the winter. So the summers are brutal, but the winters are, really nice. And, they sweat a lot. In Florida, I'll tell you right now, for 6 months, it is hot out. Let's call it for what it is. So you're always kind of breaking a sweat even when you don't want a lot of times. Just walking to your car sometimes or having a conversation outside, you just start sweating profusely sometimes. It's unbelievable. If you go do something outside, if you go visit any of the parks, you go to the beach, you go to the pool, you're sweating. So I think a lot of times people just get aggravated and they don't want to keep sweating, I guess you could say. But I see a lot of people wanting to get in better shape, but they don't want to admit that they don't like to sweat. One of them is my daughter. And she's been telling me this since she's a child, though. She's like, I hate to sweat. Both of my kids, too, they're really not outside kids. They're not that. I think unless they go to Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, or the beach, let's just say. That's maybe their outdoor activity. They're more kind of indoor type of kids because that's kind of who I am as well. But one of my daughters loves to sweat, the oldest one. She's very physical, and the youngest one hates it. But the youngest one she's very thin though. She gets away with that. But she says, her, along with a lot of her other friends too, they don't want to admit it, they hate sweating. And I think a lot of people of all ages want to get in better shape and don't want to sweat. One thing I tell them to do is go swimming. I used to goof around and say, you could sweat when you swim if you're sweating probably when you're swimming. You don't realize it maybe. I don't know. But that was a joke we used to talk about is if, are you sweating when you're swimming? But, if it's a place to stay cool, again, you can swim in a lake, swim in the ocean, you can swim in a pool. There's other things you could do where you don't feel like you're sweating. But here's the flip of that. A lot of people, especially women, they don't like to mess around with their hair. So they're like, oh, no, that'll destroy my hair. So they don't like to sweat and they don't like to mess with their hair. I get it. But here's the deal. I'm just going to get into this. So in the gym, there are things you can do that you don't have to sweat or sweat profusely. I'm telling you right now. One thing is, if you don't want to sweat that much, is your clothes. Make sure the materials that you're wearing, don't make you sweat profusely. If you're wearing heavy cottons in the gym, for instance, heavy sweatpants, heavy sweaters, and all these things, yeah, you're going to sweat. But if you wear something like microfiber or something very thin in the gym, you may not sweat as much. Again, what are you doing? If you're going to go take a Zumba class, is that what it's called? Zumba, I forgot. If you're going to go take a class, you are going to sweat your ass off, right? I'm just telling you. But then again, if you do some weight training or weight lifting and you don't go really hardcore, you can go throughout a gym and kind of get some things going for yourself without having to sweat a lot. I'm not saying you're going to break a sweat, but I see a lot of people in the gym that are not sweating, but they are working out. Are they working out as hard as they should? Probably not necessarily. They're kind of half-assing it. A lot of people are half-assing it in the gym. You got to be kidding me. And a lot of people are not sweating in the gym. You could see throughout their workouts, not much is going on with sweating, but they are getting some type of workout in, which is better than nothing. And then sometimes you may not realize that you may not like to sweat to a certain degree, but once you start getting in better shape or you start building momentum, you may start to like sweating because it's more of a healthy type feeling. And I talk about that too with the sauna. I know a lot of guys and men and women that don't like to go in the sauna for many reasons. One of the reasons is they don't want to sweat or it's too hot. But once you start getting used to going in that sauna, I'm telling you, it's a game changer the way it makes you feel internally, also the way it makes your skin feel, the way it helps with your breathing, all these things. And I am going to wrap it up with this because I want to keep these short. A lot of times, you may find people that think sweating may be disgusting. You can't always look at it like that. Yeah, it may get disgusting if you're in regular clothes and you start sweating and then it may start to smell or you may smell. I don't know. But you got to look at, sweating as a badge of honor when working out or something that's helping you a lot of times. That doesn't mean you have to go hardcore where at the end of your workout you're soaked. But if you do sweat or you start putting a lot more effort into it, you're going to start feeling better. And then all you do is take your clothes off, go in the shower, or go take a bath, or do whatever the hell you got to do. I think a lot of times people, with sweating again, especially, and I'm going to throw this out there, a lot of times I may offend people, but if you're overweight, because I've been there, and you sweat a lot of times profusively. Sometimes depending on the environments, again, if you're 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight, you're already sweating. And then say you don't want to sweat anymore, and you're thinking, man, if I go start working out or I go do something, I'm going to be even sweating even more. I'm sick of sweating all the time, because my forehead was always, I had a rag. I would be, hitting my forehead. And I'd be like, I am sick of sweating. Well, if we kind of want to get away from that type of sweating, let's try to get that weight off. And you won't be sweating as much. And you know what I mean? It's just kind of common sense to a certain degree, but a lot of people don't look at that. So if you are somebody who is, again, sweating profusively, who's overweight, if we get that weight off you, like I said, you may be sweating a lot less. And even when you work out, you may be sweating a lot less than what you previously have gone through. Because if you're well overweight and then you've worked out, it's like just coming down, right? It's not always going to be like that if you get down to a certain weight, okay? It's going to feel different, and you're going to feel different about yourself, okay? You're not going to be kind of what I would say an overdrive. Because a lot of us, when we're well overweight, we're already at full throttle, you know what I mean? But when you lose that weight, you're kind of coasting. That's at least how I look at it. All right, you got any questions or comments, please feel free to hit me up. I'm at rich@richcelenza.com. Leave a comment, hit me up with a question, agree or disagree. But the first thing is take an honest approach. If you hate sweating and you don't want to sweat, like I said, go do things in the water. Or if you hate sweating, what really is the core of it as well? Is it because you're overweight and you're always sweating? Or is it just because you don't like because of the smell, or you don't like to take extra showers throughout the day? There's all these things, but is being healthy is more important than not wanting to sweat? These are things you got to think about. I would say sweating. I'd rather sweat and be healthy than, be overweight and not want to sweat. So, that's just life. We can't always control our bodies. I don't know how you can overall control not sweating. I don't think that's possible. But maybe if you live in Alaska or some shit like that, and I've been there, it's pretty cold. But I still sweat in Alaska, I'll tell you right now, when I was doing certain things because of all the layers of clothes. So anyways, I'll wrap it up there. Take care. I wish you nothing but the best.